Under this blanket is a glorious Supercharged 1UZ. And me. And today, Gingium for the Future is going to take you back in time and show you the build of this glorious engine. Look at that. You see that? What does that look like to you? Starts with an S and ends with Supercharger. New headers too, bro. Is that a powder coated valve cover, bro? When I got this engine, it was imported from Japan. It was crusty. It was old, had the original timing belt, didn't leak oil, so that was cool. But it was not good. And I didn't do anything to it. And I ran it like that for 3 whole years. Well, with Drift Truck V2, it's time to give the 1UZ the love and power it deserves. So we're going to tear it all the way apart, replace all the timing belt, the gaskets, paint it, upgrade it, new parts, supercharger. So without any further ado, enjoy the video. Jesus Christ. Hey, yo. Don't worry about that. Ooh. Okay. It's a U, not a V. So I've never timed one of these, but this marker right here is at 0, that at 0, that's at top dead center, and this right here is at top dead center. So I can now confidently pull it apart and not worry about it being hard to retime. Oh, or not. There's a reason why you use an impact socket. It's working. That was pretty easy, if I do say so myself. I love the fact that I can just, I got it yet again, didn't do any research, which maybe it's a stupid way to go about things, but it's more fun just taking it apart and trying to figure out how it works. Oh, fuck. That's unfortunate. The cam just moved like 30 degrees, which that's normal for when you're taking a tensioner and stuff apart. But well, it's the fact that it happened like 5 minutes after I took the belt off. That's kind of funny. Hey yo, why does this side look so much better than this side? Ooh. So now comes the miserable part of sanding everything, cleaning everything, and painting everything. A couple things were getting powder coated, but the rest, good old flat back Rust-Oleum.
Is there not a way to like drain it beforehand? Oh, well.
Oh!
Starts going through.
Someone tells me that ain't going out. Oh, what the fuck? Why was that so easy? Frag out! Okay, marked on. Ah, it's a tooth off. Okay. Just there, lined up right there, and it's hard to see that one, but it's in there and it's lined up. Alternator may or may not work after being painted. Don't really know if that's something you can do, but I figured worst case scenario, it doesn't work. And then I have to buy a new one, and then it looks nice anyway. So here we are. So we got the entire front put back together besides the timing belt covers. It's nice to finally get this thing refreshed. This is one of my favorite things to do, just taking apart an engine, painting stuff, replacing stuff, putting it back together. In addition to the timing belt covers, we're also waiting for the valve covers to come back. So while we wait, we're gonna start doing Supercharger stuff. Let me pull it all out. Supercharger, fuel rails, Supercharger manifold, injector parts, some sort of gasket. Oh, this is for the CD09. Pinion fitting, fuel lines, bolts, and last but not least, injectors and a pulley. So this Supercharger kit is from Elate Manufacturing. Elate is an Australian company that makes Supercharger kits for all sorts of UZ motors, 1, 2, 3 UZ, I believe, and some other funky UZs. They've got billet stuff, cast stuff, things for new Superchargers, things for old Superchargers like this. This is an SVT, I don't remember which exact one. I think it's like an M118, M116 or something. This is off of like a Ford Lightning kind of thing. They sent all of this out to put on to the 1UZ for the drift truck. So huge thank you to them. And if you guys need any Supercharger stuff for your UZs, check them out. I'll have a link in the description and up there in the cards. Now this kit is intercooled, which is sick. There's an intercooler in the manifold. So we'll be able to be intercooled. I think with the stock pulley on this thing, it'll be in the 300s, but we're actually gonna be limited by the rods in that motor because the VVTi 1UZ has the small rods, unfortunately. One day we'll build the motor, but today is not this day. It's a pretty simple install. You put the manifold on, then you put the Supercharger on the manifold, and then you put a belt on. And that's it. Oh, we have to take the throttle body off of the old intake manifold. We do have to modify the Supercharger. Those two nubs on the bottom, we have to cut off. And then we're gonna paint the Supercharger, and that's gonna be pretty much it. Oh wow, that's crazy. Even just doing this, so you can feel it, the air it pushes. Okay, so now, we cut this entire piece of aluminum that is above this plane, because this is the plane that bolts to the Supercharger plate. So we cut that off, make sure there's no aluminum inside, paint it, and then we can continue. Ooh. Hey, yo, I think that is good enough. So in order to put the Supercharger manifold onto here, you have to remove the studs, place them with bolts because the manifold is much thicker. Fortunately, these bolts are tiny and they just stripped out using the double bolt method, double nut method. So I gotta weld them. Unfortunately, since our valve covers have been missing for a week and are gonna be missing for like another week, gotta use a TIG welder because I don't wanna get slag all over my cams and shit. I think that worked.
It's fucking.
Yeah.
It's glowing, dog.
I think it got hot enough. God damn it, it's just moving. It's just rotating. Yay! Jesus. So we're ready to put our Supercharger manifold on. Now normally when there were studs in the head, it was really easy to, put these over the studs and then slide the intake manifold on. But since we had to remove the studs, it's gonna be hard to line everything up. So I'm gonna put a dab of silicone onto the back of these gaskets so they don't move around while we're trying to line up the Supercharger. Oh. That wasn't too hard. Come on, click, brother. Whew. So before we put this beautiful baby on, the instructions actually call for us to put the injectors in next. So that's what we're gonna do. Also, Elate Manufacturing fuel rails injectors, upgraded injectors, slightly bigger for more fuel. The old factory rubber and hard lines can go to AM lines throughout. Hey, yo. Okay, am I tripping? The bag that there was a bag that had 4 bolts for the fuel rails in them. It wasn't this one, obviously. They're obviously not in there. Okay. They were in here. Here. There. Gonna put some gasket maker on the flange, and then Supercharger goes on. So excited to see it. Only if we had freaking valve covers, timing covers. It's really unfortunate seeing it all put together with microfibers as the valve covers, but that's what happens when a company says that they're gonna do something and then it's totally off by almost a week. placement. We're gonna let the silicone dry a little bit before torquing it down. What we are gonna go ahead and do though, replace this. I need to get a new clip for this, yeah. Replace this pulley with this smaller, smooth pulley. This will redirect where our belt goes. And finally, after what was supposed to take 3 days, 2 weeks and 2 days later, we have our parts back from powder coats. Feeling pretty good. I mean, it's kind of hard to mess up powder coat. Unfortunately, there's definitely a lot of sandblasting material inside the valve cover behind the baffles. Not really the powder coating place's fault. It's kind of inevitable. So we're gonna have to take off the baffles, clean it out, replace the seals, and then we can finally finish this 1UZ. Ew. Interesting. So, turns out I put these in upside down. Fortunate. Yeah, much better. That is satisfying. Oh, now that one was running lean. Oh yeah, that was good too. O'Reilly's has our last coil pack. Because the Sequoia started misfiring, and so I stole one of these coil packs for the Sequoia. Benefit of having the same, essentially, engine. Oh wait, there's one last thing. New VVT solenoids, because the old ones were fried. And maybe this time we can get a little extra horsepower with working VVT. So in order to get our supercharger pulling, pushing, boosting, spinning, we have to go ahead and make this an idler pulley because the routing of the belt right now won't work. This supercharger kit is meant for AC. I don't want AC on my drift truck. Well, actually I do, but It's too much work. So we are going to build some sort of mount that will mount a pulley right about here. The belt will come under this pulley, around the supercharger, and down there, clearing the water neck. So two of the bolt holes are on the same plane, and then there's this bolt hole, which is slightly recessed, which is why we did the little kind of cut out recessed part. But look at this, it's beautiful. So now we will drill a hole over here, put a bolt through it, weld the spacer, weld the bolt, and that is where the actual pulley will mount to. So this is the plate that the pulley gets welded to, or the pulley, yeah, never mind, let's just finish this thing. So right there is about where I need it spaced. Nice, perfect. Finished bracket looking mint. Ooh. Cool, so now we're gonna take some wire. We're gonna route it along the thing, around the crankshaft, tensioner, one pulley, two pulley, around that, back around this, around that. Now, I need a marker. Subtract 126 from whatever this number is. Where's that black mark? Here it is. 2,545 millimeters. Time to call some part stores. We got 3 different size belts, hoping that one of these is the right size. I think it might be too small. Oh, first try, whatever I was trying to say. So that's pretty much it. There are a few small things, like for instance, these rusty bolts, but believe it or not, these are M7s. I've never experienced an M7 in the wild, but here they are. So I couldn't find any replacement bolts. I'll have to order those online. Not a big deal. Apologies for this video taking for so long. Never going to use this powder coating place again, but you know, no really excuses. I could have done things to make it so we could have been doing other stuff while we waited. So that was an L on my part too. But with that being said, I am so excited to hear this thing. It's not gonna be the most powerful engine in the world, but goodness gracious, with these headers and the supercharger and the new exhaust we have planned for this thing, I'm excited. I mean, Drift Truck V1 was already one of the best sounding cars, I would say even on the internet. Maybe that's too aggressive, but Drift Truck V2 definitely will be. So yeah, in the next video, we are mounting it in the truck and putting the new CDO9 transmission on the back, which is going to be so sweet. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed, give it a like, subscribe. If you want to support the channel, check out Patreon. You can get early access to posts, merch, and all sorts of other stuff. And you can also actually check emministries.com for merchandise. So yeah, thanks for watching. See you next time.